And as always, your views and comments are welcome on the show. Look for us on our social media handles. Join News on Facebook and on Twitter. We will be glad to share your thoughts with the rest of the world. Now, we begin today with a new innovative idea, but will it work? There's a new approach to tackling floods in Ghana. The National Disaster Management Organization has today launched a mobile application that will help detect heavy rains hours ahead of time for NADMO evacuation plan to kick in, at least to prevent deaths in flooding situations. Here is Dr. Kingsford Amwa, the project manager at the UNDP, who are partnering NADMO, announcing this new application.
Let me take you back to June 3 last year. You know, we have this complex emergency where we have flood and an inferno at Circle, and took away innocent lives. And this has been perennial. And as I don't know about you, but some of us are really tired about that. We really want to get to the bottom of it, have a solution for it. And hence the National Disaster Management Organization and the UNDP, the United Nations Development Program, and then the Norwegian government. And then today, for this particular app that we're going to be launching, the VIA water in the Netherlands, they came together to help the crew project, of which I managed to come up with some models that can help this country to cut off or to mitigate the effects of these disasters on the nation. So the crew project came up with both structural and non-structural measures by which we could mitigate floods in this country. And today, what we have witnessed is a non-structural measure that the crew project came up with to help this country, and particularly NADMO, to be able to fight or to mitigate disasters. And that is in the app of what we call the FFF.
So we know the essence of this mobile application. We've had a lot of flooding. In fact, the recent one was in the eastern region. We saw a lot of people displaced, over 700 in fact. That's the number we know. But what's gone into this, and how sustainable will this plan to help us detect disasters ahead of time be implemented? Well, my colleague Shanice Palm was at the launch and joins me in the studio now with more. Shanice, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
And for such an idea that's been put together, do we know the breakdown of how this mobile application was created?
The program, those who made the app were like, they used the satellites in the air that calculates the thickness in the cloud, and also they made Netherlands meteorologists to also they also helped in the creating of this application.
Okay, let's get the breakdown of how this application was created from the one who actually did it, the creator herself.
The market. Well, first of all, we want the community, of course, to have better information, and this is an outcome of what's out of the crew project of NADMO, the community with throughout the early warning system. So was our main focus. And now you can also think about other applications, like for example agriculture needs rainfall information as well. Maybe industries who are suffering from flooding and also need this kind of information. We hope that now that they see that this application is there, that they start to using it and also want to buy it from us. And that's essential to make it also freely available in the App Store. So we of course cannot work for free. Nobody works for free. But if we gain funding throughout other projects, we can have this application running for the communities for free.
Right, so that's the one who put together that mobile application and how it will be used. So let's get down to the details. For you watching and wondering how the mobile application will be used, let's get a breakdown now. Shanice, did he explain to us what this mobile app is like and how it will be used?
Actually, she said this app will give us 2 hours notification of heavy rainfall, any kind of rainfall, to the person who has the app and also NADMO, so that you having the app can move to a safety haven or a higher land. Yeah, before this app is not to prevent flood, but it's just to save lives and help save some property.
Give prior warning before.
Yeah.
Let's get the breakdown and the explanation for that as well.
So this app, basically what it does is to give about 2 hours lead time information to NADMO, and that helps NADMO to inform the citizenry so that they will prepare, and if there is a need to go to higher grounds or there is a need to intervene, then NADMO is able to do that. There is, as part of the app, a section that allows for alerts. So once you check in that alert, you will be informed automatically when there is flooding in the area. But for now, those who have it also has the ability to be informed. I mean, by way of the app, they can be informed, just like SMS messages coming to you.
Right, so that's the breakdown of how the mobile application can be used and actually why we even need it in the first place. But Shanice, tell me something. This is a good idea in principle, considering the problems we've had in Accra and other parts of the country when it comes to flooding. But do we know, for those who may not have the kind of smartphone where you can download this mobile application, how can they also get that kind of information in real time?
Actually, I asked him, those in the villages, how would they get this notification? And he says they are working hand in hand with chiefs to notify these people. They also work, they have this gong, they have communication centers. So before they've given chiefs some phones for them to download these apps. So when they get a 2 hours notification, then they get somebody with a bicycle or maybe a gong person to go to the nearest village or the nearest town to inform them about this, and from there you inform the other town that is how it goes.
And is this being done across the country or it's on a pilot basis? The one about the chiefs being given the phones and the smartphones?
This app is going to start in Accra here before. So when they see how it works, then they continue to other regions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's hear from him, given the breakdown now.
That's a very good question. How can the old ladies within the communities also access this app? As you are aware, NADMO has the responsibility to inform the citizenry ahead of time, and we're lucky that this app is having 2 hours of lead time. But what we have also done as part of the project is social behavioral analysis, where we understand how communities behave, how they communicate. So in every given community, the situation is not the same. Sometimes some communities depend on even gong beaters to reach to the last person within the community. So the idea for NADMO is, once we have the app at the submet level, I mean from the head office to the region to the submet, now the submet, working in close collaboration with the chiefs and the people, would have decided on how. In some areas, they even use these comp centers, and then some also they beat gong. Sometimes even the last mile has to do with someone riding a bicycle to get to the nearest village or something, just to give the information to them. So we are looking at all of that, and we're trying to let the communities master that so that no one will be left out.
Right, so that's the breakdown for those in the hinterlands on how they can access it. But the final thing, and I'm sure that's the key question you'll be asking, you're holding your smartphone now, how can you in fact get hold of this software or this mobile application so you can also get the details and the flash alerts when it's coming your way? Shanice, do we know how we can get this application on our phones?
It's on Play Store. It's FFF app. The full meaning is flash flooding forecasting. So you go on Play Store, you type flash flood forecasting, you download it and you get it. Actually, there's this one colleague that had it on his phone and he showed us how it looks like. You type where you are, let's say you're in Accra, you type Accra, then you get a map of Accra where you are, and then it's to show you the weather forecast.
Wow,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay, thank you, Shanice. And I'm sure that I'll have to check. The unfortunate one is that I checked for Apple users. It's not on App Store yet, but as she mentioned, for the Play Store, that's Google, Android, you will get that application. That should help us considerably in anticipating that if anything is to happen, maybe here in Accra or in that village up north, or even here in the southern zone, we will get the help that is required before disaster strikes in any community in the country. Thank you, Shanice, for these details. Now.